Sir, I need you to step aside. Random security check.
I'm just trying to catch my flight home.
I didn't ask about your flight. ID, now.
Here, I'm military. Just got back from...
Okay, sure. Anyone can buy one of these costumes online.
Officer Daniels had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 72 hours, his badge would be gone, 17 officers would be suspended, and the Pentagon would call his chief directly. The man he just slammed against the wall was a 14-year Navy SEAL. He had 3 Bronze Stars and 2 Purple Hearts. His service record was so secret that Congress had to approve anyone who wanted to see it. Senior Chief Marcus Williams had just come home from 8 months overseas. He was wearing his dress blues to surprise his daughter at her graduation. That ceremony was just 3 hours away. And the 6 people recording on their phones, one worked at the Pentagon. Another was a military reporter with over 2 million followers. Every single second was captured. Before I continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone in a uniform? Drop your answer in the comments. But Officer Daniels had no idea who he just threw against that wall. Marcus Williams was 38 years old. He grew up in Houston, Texas. He was the first person in his family to join the military. He became a Navy SEAL in 2010. Only 17% of people who try actually finish the training. Marcus was one of them. Over 14 years, he went on 9 combat missions. He served in Iraq and Afghanistan. He also worked in places the government still won't talk about. His chest was covered in medals, 3 Bronze Stars, 2 Purple Hearts, awards that most soldiers never earn in a lifetime. But here's what Officer Daniels really didn't know. Marcus had a letter in his file from the Secretary of Defense, a personal letter thanking him for his service. His work was so important that Pentagon leaders knew his name. Now here's what matters most about that day. Marcus had been gone for 8 months. His wife Maya and his daughter Jasmine were waiting for him. Jasmine was 17. She was about to graduate high school in just a few hours. Marcus wore his dress blues because he wanted to surprise her. He wanted to walk into that ceremony and see her face light up. On this Friday morning, Marcus wasn't thinking about being a war hero. He was just a dad trying to get home in time to see his little girl walk across that stage. Now let's talk about Officer Kevin Daniels. Kevin Daniels was 34 years old. He had worked as an airport security officer for 6 years. His job was at Hartsfield Regional Airport in Georgia. But Daniels had a reputation at that airport, and it wasn't a good one. In 4 years, 11 people had filed complaints against him. Every single complaint came from a passenger who wasn't white. Every single one was marked unfounded. That means the airport said the complaints weren't real. Let me tell you about 3 of them. In 2021, Daniels stopped an Indian-American businessman. He held him for 3 hours. The man missed a meeting worth $2 million. The complaint went nowhere. In 2022, Daniels handcuffed a black woman who was a lawyer. He did it right in front of her kids. His body camera stopped working during the arrest. No one punished him. In 2023, he was rough with a Latino veteran during a pat-down. The veteran filed a civil rights complaint. The airport quietly paid the man $15,000, and Daniels kept his job. The other officers had a nickname for him. They called him Random Check Kevin. Everyone knew his checks weren't really random. His boss wrote in his review that Daniels was too aggressive but gets results. The union protected him every time. For 6 years, nothing happened to him. His bosses looked away. But on June 14, 2024, Kevin Daniels picked the wrong man. Type accountability in the comments if you think 11 complaints should have meant something. It was Friday, June 14, 2024. The time was 7:47 in the morning. Terminal B at Hartsfield Regional Airport was busy. Families were heading out for summer trips. Business people sat with laptops. Coffee lines were long. CNN played on the TVs above. At Gate 23, about 60 people waited. They were catching Delta Flight 1847 to Houston. Boarding would start at 8:15. Among those passengers was Lieutenant Commander Rachel Torres. She worked at the Pentagon. She sat one gate over, reading her phone. Derek Simmons was also there. He was a reporter who covered military news. He had 2.3 million followers online. At 7:47, Marcus Williams walked toward Gate 23. He looked sharp in his navy dress blues. His uniform was perfect. His medals caught the light. He carried a small military bag. He was texting his wife, landing at 10:30, don't tell Yars. An elderly man near Gate 24 saw Marcus walk by. He stood up and saluted. Marcus nodded and smiled. Then Officer Daniels spotted him from 30 feet away. Daniels changed direction. He walked straight toward Marcus. "Sir, step aside. Random security check." Marcus stopped. He was confused, but he did what he was told. What happened next was caught on 6 cell phones. 4 security cameras recorded it too, and Daniels forgot to turn off his body camera. The next 12 minutes would destroy 17 careers. If stories like this matter to you, hit that subscribe button now. Daniels looked at Marcus's military ID. He turned it over in his hands. "This doesn't look right," he said. "Sir, that's my official military ID. You can call and check it. I'll decide what needs checking." Daniels looked Marcus up and down. "Where'd you get this uniform?" "I'm active duty Navy. I just got back from deployment." "Deployment where? Doing what?" "That's classified, sir. I can't talk about it." Daniels laughed. Convenient. Then he pointed at Marcus's bag. "Open it." Marcus opened the bag. Inside was a folded American flag. A fallen teammate's family had given it to him before he left. Daniels grabbed it. "Bought this at a surplus store too." Marcus's voice got tight. "Please be careful with that." Daniels tossed the flag back in the bag. "You need to come with me for more screening." "Sir, my flight boards in 20 minutes. My daughter is graduating today." "Not my problem. You should have thought about that before wearing a costume in my airport." "It's not a costume. Call my commander, call the base, call anyone." Daniels reached for his handcuffs. "Hands behind your back." "Sir, I've done nothing wrong. I have my ID. I'm in uniform." "You're resisting." Marcus slowly put his hands behind his back. "I'm not resisting. I'm doing what you asked." Daniels shoved him against the wall, hard. Marcus's medals scraped against the concrete. His ribbons bent. The American flag fell from his bag onto the floor. Daniels kicked his feet apart. An elderly veteran at Gate 24 stood up. He pointed at Marcus's uniform. "That man's a Navy SEAL," he shouted. "Look at his trident pin." A mother pulled her children close. "Oh my God, are you seeing this?" A man in a business suit pulled out his phone. He started recording. 5 more phones came out, then 6. But here's what Daniels didn't know. One of those phones belonged to a woman with a direct line to the Secretary of Defense. 10 minutes had passed. Everything was about to change. Let me know in the comments, would you have said something if you saw this happen? Lieutenant Commander Rachel Torres stood up from her seat at Gate 22. She walked toward the scene. Her face was calm but serious. She pulled out her Pentagon ID badge. "Officer," she said, "I'm Lieutenant Commander Torres. I work for the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Release that man right now." Daniels didn't even look at her. "Ma'am, this is airport security business." Torres stepped closer. "That man is Senior Chief Petty Officer Marcus Williams. He's with SEAL Team 6. I've read his classified file, have you?" Daniels finally turned around. His face went pale for a second, then he doubled down. "I don't care who he is. Rules are rules." Torres pulled out her phone. "I'm calling the Pentagon right now." While she dialed, Other people started speaking up. The elderly veteran walked closer. He had served in the Korean War. "I was in the military for 30 years, he said. "I know what a real sailor looks like. That man is the real deal. You're making a big mistake." Sandra Mitchell was the gate agent for Delta. She had worked there for 12 years. "Officer, I've seen Chief Williams fly through here before. He's real. Several of us know him." Derek Simmons, the military reporter, spoke next. He held up his phone. "Sir, I cover military news. I've spent time with SEAL teams. That uniform is real. Those ribbons are real. That trident pin is real. And I'm recording everything." A young Marine in regular clothes was standing nearby. He called out to Marcus. "Brother, we see you. This is wrong." By now, 6 phones were recording from different angles. 4 airport cameras had captured everything. Daniel's body camera was still running. Torres was on the phone with a Pentagon officer. "Yes, sir, SEAL Team 6, Senior Chief Williams. They have him in cuffs right now." 8 minutes had passed since Daniels first stopped Marcus. Finally, an airport supervisor walked over. Then the TSA director got a call. Local police were told to come. Daniels' hands started to shake. He looked around. Every single phone was pointed at him. He tried to change his tone. "Sir, if there's been some kind of mix-up." Marcus was still pressed against the wall. His hands were still cuffed. His voice was steady. "Take the cuffs off." But wait, there's more to this story. By now, Officer Kevin Daniels was starting to understand. He had made a huge mistake. In the next hour, he would learn something important. The Pentagon doesn't forget, the Navy doesn't forgive, and the internet never lets go. But here's a bright spot in all this darkness. The people around Marcus didn't stay quiet. They spoke up. They recorded. They demanded better. That support meant everything. Type respect in the comments if you think those witnesses did the right thing. At 8:02, Airport Security Supervisor Martin Cole showed up. At 8:07, TSA Dyack. Tor Pamela Rhodes arrived. Her face was serious. At 8:15, 2 police officers came to the gate. At 8:23, the phone rang. It was Admiral James Morrison from Navy Personnel Command at the Pentagon. Director Rhodes didn't waste time. She asked Daniels for his body camera. She watched the footage right there. She saw Marcus walking calmly. She saw him hand over his ID right away. She saw him follow every order. She heard Daniels call his uniform a costume. Her face got hard. "Officer Daniels, you're done. Immediately. Give me your badge." Daniels tried to explain himself. "He was acting suspicious," he said. Rhodes shook her head. The footage showed Marcus texting his wife. "That's it." "His ID looked fake," Daniels said. Navy Personnel Command checked the ID in 90 seconds. It was real. "He resisted," Daniels said. 6 different camera angles showed Marcus with his hands behind his back. 0 resistance. "It was a random check," Daniels said. But the footage showed something else. Daniels had walked past 4 white passengers to stop Marcus. Rhodes took his badge. She took his weapon. "You're suspended. Go home. Don't talk to anyone." The airport director came to Marcus. He apologized in person. "Chief Williams, I am deeply sorry. This should never have happened." Delta Airlines moved fast. They put Marcus on a private charter flight. He would still make it to Houston in time. Admiral Morrison's office sent a message to Torres. "Tell Chief Williams the secretary sends his thanks. Get him home to his daughter." Someone took the cuffs off Marcus. He rubbed his wrists. The elderly veteran shook his hand. "Thank you for speaking up," Marcus said. Torres smiled. "Get home, your daughter is waiting." The crowd at the gate started clapping. People cheered. Daniels was taken out through a back door. But the consequences were just starting. Derek Simmons had already uploaded the full 12-minute video. The internet was about to do what 11 complaints never could. If you believe people like Daniels should be held accountable, hit subscribe. We cover stories like this every week. The video spread fast. By 9:00 a.m., it had 100,000 views on Twitter. By 10:00 a.m., it hit the front page of Reddit. The title said, "Cop arrests decorated Navy SEAL in dress blues." By noon, 2 million people had watched it. The hashtag Justice for Marcus was trending. By 3:00 p.m., CNN was running the story. Fox News covered it. MSNBC talked about it. By 6:00 p.m., the Pentagon put out a statement. They said they were deeply troubled by what happened. By midnight, 28 million people had seen the video. News outlets in 14 countries picked it up. On Twitter alone, the video got 12 million views. People shared it 400,000 times. TikTok users made their own videos about it. Those got 8 million views combined. Derek Simmons's YouTube video hit 6 million views in one day. The comments were 94% supportive of Marcus. Veterans flooded the comments with their own stories. Military families shared times they had been treated badly at airports. One comment got 45,000 likes. It said, "This man served our country and this is how we treat him." Another comment got 78,000 likes. It said, "Officer Daniels picked the wrong one. The whole Pentagon is involved now." Famous veterans shared the video. Athletes and actors who had served posted about it. Local news in Atlanta and Houston covered it. So did the Navy Times and Military Times. The airport put out a statement. They said they were doing a full review. TSA said the incident does not reflect our values. Daniels deleted all his social media. His wife posted that he was a good man. People did not agree. 3 days later, the review was done, and Kevin Daniels wasn't the only one losing his job. This story was shared 28 million times. Share this video if you think others should see it too. The investigation finished fast. The Pentagon pushed hard for answers. Here's what they found. Officer Daniels had 11 complaints against him. All of them involved passengers of color. All of them had been ignored. That was a pattern, and now everyone could see it. The punishment came quick. Kevin Daniels was fired. He was banned from any federal security job. He lost his pension after 6 years of work. All of it gone. But he wasn't the only one. Supervisor Martin Cole got suspended for 90 days without pay. He had known about the complaints. He did nothing. 16 other officers were suspended too. They had the same kind of complaints in their files. The TSA regional director was moved to a different job. The airport security chief had to quit. In total, 17 officers were suspended, 3 were fired, 2 more quit before they could be punished. Now let me tell you about the money. The amount might surprise you. The ACLU filed a lawsuit for Marcus. The airport settled. They paid Marcus $1.2 million. But that wasn't all. Remember those 11 old complaints? They were reopened. 23 other people who Daniels had stopped see. Aim forward. The airport paid them $3.4 million combined. The airport also paid $2.1 million in federal fines. Daniels himself got sued for $500,000. That case is still going. Here's what happened to Daniels in court. He was charged with 3 crimes: violating civil rights, false imprisonment, and assault. The prosecutor offered him a deal: 18 months of probation, 200 hours of community service, and a lifetime ban from law enforcement. Daniels took the deal. He admitted he was wrong. The airport changed its rules. Now every officer has to do 40 hours of bias training each year. A new board with regular citizens reviews all complaints. Random checks are now checked by federal workers. Body cameras must be on at all times. No exceptions. Marcus gave away $200,000 from his settlement. He donated it to groups that help veterans with mental health. "I didn't do this for money," he said. "I did it so the next soldier doesn't go through what I did." The Navy gave Marcus a medal. It was for keeping his cool when he was treated unfairly. 2 weeks after the incident, Marcus gave a press conference. He wore regular clothes this time. His wife Maya stood beside him. His daughter Jasmine was in the background. Marcus spoke clearly. "I've been shot at in 3 countries. I've lost friends in combat. I've seen things I'll never talk about. But standing in that airport, in the uniform I've worn with pride for 14 years, being told it was a costume, that hurt different." He paused. "My daughter watched that video. She saw her father in handcuffs. She saw him pushed against a wall for wearing his medals." Then he talked about other service members. "I had the Pentagon on speed dial. I had a commander there to help me. I had witnesses. What about the soldier who doesn't have that? What about the veteran who is all alone?" He had a message for people in power. Your badge doesn't make you right. Your authority doesn't make you untouchable. The uniform I wear serves the Constitution, so should yours. Then he talked about his daughter's graduation. "I made it. I sat in the front row. When Jasmine walked across that stage, she saw me and started crying. After the ceremony, she hugged me and said, 'Dad, you made it. You always make it.'" His voice got soft. "That's why I serve. That's why I fought this. That's why I'll never stop." He looked at the cameras. "I didn't want to be famous. I just wanted to get home. But if my worst 12 minutes can protect the next veteran from theirs, then it was all worth it." This case showed a bigger problem. Studies show that veterans get stopped for random checks much more often than other travelers. Black service members report discrimination at airports 4 times more often than white service members. Most airport complaints go nowhere. Only 3% of officers with many complaints ever get punished. Marcus was lucky. He had Pentagon connections. A reporter was there. People recorded. The media paid attention. Most victims don't have any of that. This system only worked because the whole world was watching. So let me ask you, do we need a phone call from the Pentagon for a veteran to be treated with respect? Do we need 28 million views for a complaint system to actually work? Do we need a Navy SEAL to prove that a black man in uniform isn't wearing a costume? Because if we don't fix these systems, if we don't hold these officers accountable, if we don't make sure random really means random, then we're just waiting. Waiting for the next Kevin Daniels, the next Marcus Williams, the next 12 minutes that never should have happened. Here's the good news. This time the system worked. People spoke up. Witnesses recorded. The Pentagon responded. Justice happened. But it shouldn't take all of that. Comment below if you believe officers with multiple complaints should be automatically reviewed. Tell me what you think should change. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button. We are going to keep telling these stories. We're going to keep demanding accountability. We are going to keep fighting for veterans, for service members, for everyone who deserves basic respect. This isn't just about one officer who messed with the wrong SEAL. It's about all of us. It's about the kind of country we want to live in. See you in the next one.